Boom, boom. This is Skinner. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a bit of Bleach Immortal Soul up today. So we got another Soul Box event up after the so recent travel event that we had up. They had a soy fawn up there. So we've got a it's a pretty good event, but not really good for me because I'm not using either of the characters. As I've mentioned previously, they're not going to be updating this game with any new events or any changes in the basic gameplay. They're not going to increase the level. They're not going to introduce anything for any more of the story modes. The game's basically, for the most part, it's pretty much on hold. And of course, they're going to be waiting for the Thousand Year Blood War to come out, which is coming out next month. I think it's middle of October, tentatively, is when it's going to be start premiering. So you're going to see a lot of games based on that. So some of the older games, you're going to see those fading away, and this is going to be one of them. So this game, I'm not sure how much longer this game will be up. They'll probably just close it down. Okay, so really don't spend any money. If you already don't spend any more on it. But if you want to go ahead and keep up with it, you can, because they are doing soul box events. So they are introducing all of the old characters, a chance to get their weapons, get some shards for them, a chance to max out your account, your main characters, which is what I'm doing. So we've got Hozukimaru and we've got Flyzen. This is Aizen in one of his Hogyoku forms. They call him Flyzen simply because he has the wings. So those are the two. And then you got Hozukimaru. So Hozukimaru, I believe I said that right. Both fairly decent characters. I'm not using any of the characters, but they do have a soul box up, so that's a chance for you to get the weapons for them and get some more shards for them if you're trying to drive them. Like I say, I'm working on. I'm not going to focus on my characters. I've got my main team. I've got that guy Ichigo. He's at 7-star, so he's my mainie. I've got Ichigo at 7 stars, a base Ichigo, and I've got Kenpachi at 7 stars. So basically, I'm just going to be bringing up some of the other main teams: Tensei Getsu, White Ichigo, Aizen, and Sazi, and of course Irokura. So those are the ones that I'm going to be focusing on, and I'll probably bring up Full Hollow Ichigo as well. Just that's my main team. So any time I see a soul box with those characters, I will be taking that. They're all at 6-star. But from 6 to 7, it's 360 shards. So it's going to be cool. But I've got, I've saved up a bunch of Soul Jade specifically for that. I've got 71,000 Soul Jade shaped up. So whenever it hits, I'll be able to do it. So right now, that's just what I'm doing. Just keeping that up. Like I said, they're not going to be introducing any new characters. So whenever you get any enough of the actual tokens, go ahead and summon. When you get 10 tokens, go ahead and summon. There's no use holding them back at this point unless you wanted to hold them back for an event. But the Soul Box events, you can't use these tokens. Soul Box events are Soul Jade only. Well, you can get these specialty summon tokens, but you have to purchase those as are purchasable through real currency. But yeah, so the standard, summons for that. But you'll be able to get your weapon, and that's what the main. I mean, I've got all the weapon from the main characters, but it'd be nice to copy it and get another weapon. But yeah, so with those events, so those are the ones I'll be looking for. If I don't know, like I say, the 1,000 Year Blood War is coming out next month, so I'm not really sure how much longer after that comes out that this game will continue to go, because most people, myself included, will probably just start focusing on a 1,000 Year Blood War game, which is the last arc in the anime or in the manga actually. They're finally doing the anime for it now. So Disney Plus, it looks like, got the actual rights to stream it, but it's not going to be simulcast. So whenever we get it here in the States, is a little bit toss up unless you have Disney Plus, which I don't. Not enough on there for me to actually consider. Well, I did like the MCU Phase 1, not too happy with Phase 2, and they've didn't find any of those movies to be interesting at all. There's the other stuff on there, some of the Star Wars stuff, but again, I didn't like the last 3 movies of the Star Wars series either. Uh, while I did find some of them interesting, it's not something that I'm gonna, that there's not just enough to watch on there for me. So yeah, don't particularly get that in terms of streaming. I have other streaming services such as Amazon and a few others. But yeah, so we'll have to, that's something to take stock of at this point. So simulcasting, it's not going to happen. So we're not going to see it the same week. Um, probably 2 weeks after it's after it'll be released in Japan. Then you probably get Netflix will probably or Disney Plus will probably have it a few weeks after that. So simulcast means it premieres in Japan, and then next day, a few days later, it's released with subtitles, dubbed, whatever, in the States. Not doing that. So I don't know what Disney's plans are. Probably not good. I would probably just end up probably getting a service, where I could see it at that time, and I'm purchased a temporary subscription to one of the anime streaming services. They'll have several of them out there, even though Disney Plus has the rights in the States. There are other ones that you can go to, so that's probably what I'll end up doing for the time being. If because I do want to see it close to when it comes out. So that's what we'll have to. That's what we'll have to take into account. But the soul box for those two is up, so it's might something you want to take in. World Championship as always. Well, get as high as you can. I'm up into like platinum, but that's as high as I'm going to go. I'm really not going to focus on it anymore, since the game is not going to be moving forward. I don't see any need to increase increase things that are difficult, and World Championships is difficult. I got up to platinum. So I'm pleased with that. Right now I'm just working on characters that I'm bringing up, bringing them up in line. Okay, working on your right here. Never going to bring him up, but I've got all my other characters maxed out. So might as well max him out as well. So just use up my stamina. But yeah, that is event. So yeah, I'm not going to be pulling on it. But Hozukimaru and Flyzen are up. They are good characters, like I say. If you have either one on your team, now would be the chance to apply for it, and a chance to get the weapon, and a chance to get the actual bunch of shards. Because, like I said, it's 360 to take it to 7-star, and that's what you want to do is get your characters to 7-star. I've got all of them to 6, and like I say, Dangai, Kenpachi, and Basic Garb to 7. And I've got a few other characters up to 7, of course, but none of the actual UR characters at this point. Mostly just SSR characters and a bunch of the SR and R characters. I've already got those up at 7 as well, which is why I have a $10 million account. So that's about common. Other than that, there's not much going on. So this is going to be going on for it opened up yesterday, so today's the second day. It'll be going on again tomorrow, but then after that it will close. So if you're not somebody who plays the game consistently, it is up. So get in there today or tomorrow. Make sure that you do it if you're going to get the pools, if you want to get the shards. Okay, that's the best and fastest way to go about doing it. All right, but that's all that's up. And otherwise than that, I decided to go ahead and focus on. We're getting shards. We're actually getting shards for the actual character, season pass characters inside of the actual thing, which I think is really, really nice. They've turned the season pass into something generic, which is really good. I like what they've done with it. So instead of getting, instead of introducing a new character to season pass, because they're not introducing new characters, although they do introduce event characters. Okay, so they did have a new Soifon in the travel season. My assumption is here this Halloween event, which will be coming up here in a month or two. They'll probably have a Halloween version, like they had Halloween Nemu, which is on my screen right now. She's my desktop. But inside of here, they are passing out the season pass characters. So you might want to choose one, okay, and just to do that. I decided to go and choose Yuraku because he's one of my favorite characters. So I've actually got him up to 5-star now. So because I had shards on him before, and or is it 4? I think it's 4. I don't think it's 5. I think it's 4. What have I got him at? That's the original Yuraku. I'm talking about the season pass Yuraku, which looks a little bit different. He's got a colorful kimono on and whatnot. Right here he is. It's 4-star. I've got him up to 4-star. I got him at, you get him at 3-star, so I got him up to 4-star right now. So I'm going to start bringing him up. And he'll be the one I focus on. Okay, not something I'll probably take my team just because I like the character. And the season pass characters are a little bit better than regular UR characters, so it might be something that could be useful. But like I say, they're not going to introduce any more story modes or anything like that, so there's really no reason to bring up anything because, like I say, I'm not sure how much longer this game's even going to be active. Okay, so really, don't dump anything into this at this point. We'll make a determination as to what we do. I don't know if OG is going to be coming out. That's the publisher. I don't know if they're going to be coming out with the 1,000-Year Blood War. Somebody will be. I assume several companies will be making 1,000-Year Blood War games, mobile games. So we'll just have to wait and see when they come out. If they're any good, are they on a free-to-play scale? We'll have to see. It all comes down to how. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the publisher. OG's got other IPs. They've got a One Punch Man Road to Hero IP, and they've got a few other games out. All run on the same kit. I mean, if you go play One Punch Man Road to Hero, it's exactly like Bleach, Immortal Soul. It's really just a reskin of Bleach Immortal Soul. It has the same format. They have the same type of events and everything. It's really just a reskin. It took me. I tried it out one time, and within a couple of days, I knew exactly what I was doing because I'd done something similar in Bleach. So they have. It's basically just a reskin. That's where a lot of their attention is at right now. They've only got a handful of people on this, which is why they're only rolling out soul boxes. We'll probably see a Halloween character. Don't know if we'll see an actual event like last Halloween. They actually had a graveyard and a board that you had to jump through, which was pretty nice. I don't know if they're going to do something like that again, or if they're just going to introduce a new character, or even if they will introduce a new character, they might just skip Halloween and wait for something along the Christmas versions. We'll just have to see. But it will be some chances to get some shards for Nemu here because she is awesome. She is totally OP, and I do utilize her on occasion. So definitely one to focus on if you're choosing one of the characters. She totally wrecks in 1v1. She can beat characters that are even better stars, more power, because the skill set she's got when it procs is just devastating to characters who deal a lot of damage, which makes her to be a very good opponent. And she works well on a team as well too, especially when you get down to only having a few characters left. She has excellent survivability, so she's usually one of the ones to survive. And then when her ghosts proc, she can take out 1 or 2 characters on the opposing team. I've seen it happen several times where I thought I was going to lose in the challenges, in the extreme challenge, and I thought for sure I was going to bite it, and all of a sudden it would proc and eliminate half of the team just like that. So yeah, you need to. Yeah, she's definitely one that you might want to look at in terms of her kit. But other than that, everything else is going to be focusing on that. So Flyzen, Hozukimaru, go ahead and pull on them if they're in your team. Otherwise, we'll just wait for the next season pass. Hopefully, the next soul box. Hopefully, it'll be one of the characters I'm looking for. And if it is, then we will of course do a video and we'll pull on that. Take however much soul jade it needs. I've got a bunch of Omni shards saved up, 220, which means I'm probably going to need to get about 100 shards of the opposing team, opposing character. So it's going to be a little bit tough, but by the time that comes around, I might have more. So I'll be able to get, fairly close to where I need to be in terms of to get the characters, especially if it's White Ichigo or Tensei Zangetsu, because I have like 30 or 40 shards of them. So they're already part way up to 7 stars. So if I pull out 100, I'll be able to do that. But we'll have to see. Well, it could be a while before those 2 roll around. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, they're rolling these out with the regularity right now. I'm probably going to see one every 2 or 3 weeks. You're probably going to see a new Soulbox event. This Soulbox event will end. They'll have the event, Battle Arena event, or a Kirkertown event, something like that, and they'll have the time limited exchange up for that, and you'll be able to get, if you didn't quite get the weapon, there'll be shards for those weapons for these two inside of that event. Then that event will end, okay, after about 7 days. Then usually a few weeks after that, they'll probably start rolling out another Soulbox event. This is going to be the only thing that they're doing. They're just rerunning the Soulbox events. These are not new Soulbox events. These are Soulbox events that they've already had. They're just bringing them back out, which is why they've only got a couple people in the game. They can just, scroll this puppy out within a few seconds, a couple console commands, and bam, this thing will run whenever they schedule it to. So they're not remaking the wheel, reinventing the wheel, or anything like that. They're just rolling out what they've already got. So, but it's difficult to detect the schedule. There's not many people focusing on the game right now, so the Immortal Soul Leaks team is nowhere near what it used to be. So data mining some of this stuff is a little bit different, a little bit difficult to do. But that's a sign that that the game's wanting. There's still quite a few people playing it. If you do go look into the thing, into the multi-server, there are bunches of people still talking through the chat. Okay, so yeah, you'll find most of the people, people punching out the codes and stuff that you can lead, and there's always conversations going on. So it's not it's not completely dead or anything like that. There's still a fan base, basically. Bleach Bleach fans waiting for something to happen with the 1,000-Year Blood War so that they can jump to that. The first 1,000-Year Blood War games come out, but 3/4 of the people are just going to abandon this game completely. And that's what OG's thinking is going to happen. So that's exactly why they're not spending any more time on this. And they've got all of their people. Now, probably OG's probably going to get an IP to do something to the 1,000-Year Blood War, most likely. So they'll come out with a 1,000-Year Blood War game. And they'll roll the people into that. So when that happens, I got a feeling that shortly after that, they'll probably end up shutting this particular game down. It's run its course. It's been up for a couple of years. It was a nice game. It was, for the most part, free to play. It was a little on the pricey side at times, but for the most part, you could focus on getting a good team together without having to spend any money. Okay. So, yeah, it is what it is. But we'll have to reevaluate the 1,000-Year Blood War when it comes out to see exactly how much of a free-to-play is. And we'll, when it comes out, we'll play it, make a determination. And if it's not free-to-play, if it's a clear paywall game, then we won't play it. And that's just the way it is. We don't waste time on those games. You don't need to. Don't spend your money on them. They're just money sinks. And that's not. There's much better things that you can do with your money. So don't get caught up in that. So, but we'll review it when it comes out, when they come out, because I'm sure there'll be multiple ones to get out. But the 1,000-Year Blood War next month. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's something like the middle of October, I think is when they said it was going to be released. That's in Japan. Like I say, not sure when we'll actually see it here in the States. But we should see some. It wouldn't surprise me if we actually see a mobile game before we actually see the actual episodes here in the States, considering it's not going to be simulcast. But we'll have to find out. All right, so that's all I've got. I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that there was a Soulbox event up, and it's a pretty good characters. If you have them on your team, definitely want to pull on this because you can get their weapon. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it, you get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as it does help the channel immensely. This is Ken Rear, still coming at you from the corner, signing out.